It's Thursday, May 16th, end of the day SPY recap, and today the SPY on the daily chart closed with a 2 up, a bit of a failure looking bar here. So we took out the high of the previous day, as you would expect with a green bar like this, but as the session went on, we came down below the open, closed a little red. A little bit of a reversal look to this bar, so you would expect those lows to be tested tomorrow to end the week, and we'll see if it can come down and hit its target. Right now you have a fair value gap between that high and that low, and obviously this low is kind of the target. So all in here is kind of where price can come down to. You'd expect it to hold, and if it does, then we can have good buy signals going into next week, or it might reverse tomorrow, might come down a little bit, they come up through the midpoint of this bar and have a strong weekly close. We'll find that out. So in other words, this weekly chart, after coming to make brand new all-time highs, we'll see tomorrow where it closes to end the week. If it becomes a big shooter bar, for example, then maybe we do get we're starting to get higher highs and a start down on a 2-down week. But if it can't really follow through much lower, then we end up with a green week, and you expect to kind of hold the midpoint of this week and continue higher possibly. So a lot will depend where things go tomorrow, but I would expect price to try to go a little lower, and we'll just see how much lower it ends up and how the week ends up. In terms of intraday action, the pre-market range was between the blue lines, and what price did right out of the gates, you can see it did take out yesterday's high right here on the very first bar. So, and then it kind of paused a little bit and had eventually an up move to start the session. And once you saw that, you were anticipating those pre-market highs to be taken out, and that's exactly where price went. I shot a video how I bought some puts here on this red bar, and I explained, the exhaustion risk that I felt was in play given the gap up, strong move. This was a strong move up, gap up, strong move up, and then after taking out those highs but seeing the pre-market highs much above it, that was kind of where it was gunning for, and I had a feeling at that point the market is in for a little choppiness, if nothing else, just to take out some liquidity, either internal liquidity that develops during the day. And I discussed how once the market had a little green bar here and started up, these two bars formed a stop area. So price came right down there and took that out. And then, you could see it pause there, as it usually does when it takes out liquidity. You get to judge, and there was no real attempt to come back up to the high. So then obviously it went down, took out the lows of the day. I said that was a possibility. And, all for the rest of the day, it just kind of grinded lower to the close. So although it's a kind of an aggressive play, first of all, there was a buy here if you wanted to do that, but you had to know this was your target, and you had to be very careful, to see what would happen there. So if you took a morning trade to the upside, that's fine, but to expect momentum, price would have had a kind of pause here and really continued higher. And you kind of know the context of your exhaustion risk. So, and like I said, the big thing to me is I saw the wide pre-market range that was in play. So after taking out yesterday's high, I kind of felt that this might be an area of exhaustion temporarily. Nevertheless, I did shoot a video. I bought Google early on, and that was a good morning trade to the upside. But then stocks like Meta, which I bought puts on, they didn't move up early. And that's another thing too. Finally, the reason, another reason why I decided to buy the puts here was that I looked around the board and I saw a lot of stocks not really doing much. It wasn't a market where everything was moving up together. I can go, all over the place and show you, even like Nvidia wasn't going anywhere, and Netflix wasn't going anywhere from the open. Stocks like Coinbase I watched were going lower. Meta wasn't going anywhere. So, you look at these, if you just look at the SPY on its own and try to just judge price action, you might have thought it was going to pause here and make a big push up. Once you kind of look at the overall market and see there's a weakness out there, then that's why, again, it was another kind of confirmation that you could get, that we were we were going to probably be heading down and start taking out liquidity on the downside before heading higher within this uptrend. So we will see how things end tomorrow. I expect a little lower. We'll see, if it reaches some targets. And overall, the weekly chart and, of course, the monthly chart. Let me get back to that. Right here is still up in green on a 2-up month, so we're still looking for buys. There's still 12 trading days to go or something like that, or in the rest of the month. So there's plenty of time here for this to continue higher, but it just might have to pause a little first given the exhaustion risk. So we'll see what unfolds tomorrow to end the week.